Yeah, we're getting some great shots of the stout Bigfoot in Washington
I never
State.
see Bigfoot eating.
No, if anybody can
Don't
get
you have to eat
if anybody can
all
get
that weight, all that size, all that move? I mean, he's constantly moving around. He's burning up calories like crazy.
Yeah, that's the holy grail, to get a shot of it eating. That would be awesome.
You know, a donut, a cheeseburger, something. He's never drinking. Where's the water?
I'd like to see him walk into a picnic, beat the crap out of everybody there, and just steal their food, and then we can
That's just you're going too far.
Okay, but I want to talk about the Patterson-Gimlin film just for a second, because with video cameras, you have less grain, unless you're doing night shots, but you generally have less grain. And on film, for example, the Patterson-Gimlin film...
What was Patterson-Gimlin shot with?
A 16mm film camera, movie camera.
Does anybody even know what a 16mm film camera looks like or is?
I don't know about these days. I'm sure people have kind of seen it. It's just half the size, half the frame size of what you see in
but you don't
movie
see
theaters.
Any of that anymore.
Yeah, you don't see it as much. But there's been a lot of independent movies that were made in 16mm. In fact, until the advent of video came in, TV shows were filmed in 16mm. They didn't film them in 32mm. They shot them in 16mm. So with like Columbo and Rockford Files, all those shows, just to save money, because they weren't they weren't to be blown up on the big screen. They were shot in 16mm.
For TV size.
Film has more grain than video. And what you see in the Patterson-Gimlin film, even though it's blurry, you do see a lot of grain that creates a kind of like the illusion.
It creates distortion.
Creates distortion, but also the illusion of sharpness. It's very blurry, but you see these dots dancing around that actually are very sharp-edged dots, like pinpoints dancing around instead of just a graduated blur. And people mistake that for sharpness, but and they also they mistake it for movement, because they say, oh, they read into it. Look at this stuff dancing around. That's the movement of its muscles.
No one's pointed that out.
Well, you can definitely see some kind of separation in the muscles to some degree in the Patterson-Gimlin, but I think a lot of what they're they're reading into more than it actually is. Is not to say that that's
so their eyes are playing tricks on them.
Well, the film and video can play tons of tricks. You ever seen a picture of somebody you know or yourself that doesn't look like me, or somebody you know?
Oh, certainly, that happens all the time.
It happens all the time, and you just can't explain. You say, I don't see how I could have taken a picture where I look like that. That just doesn't look like me, or that doesn't look like so and so. That doesn't look like this movie star or whatever. You just can't figure it out.
I think most people at the DMV feel like that.